The Great Library of Alexandria stood as the brightest flame of knowledge the ancient world had ever known. Founded in the 3rd century BCE under the patronage of Ptolemy I and expanded by his successors, the library was more than a building, it was a universe contained within walls. Scholars estimated it housed hundreds of thousands of scrolls, mathematics, astronomy, poetry, medicine, engineering, philosophy, and texts collected from Greece, Egypt, Persia, India, and beyond. In a world where travel was slow and knowledge fragmented, the library was the first true attempt to gather all human understanding in one place. Alexandria itself was a marvel, a cosmopolitan port city where Egyptians, Greeks, Jews, Persians, and traders from every edge of the known world mingled. The museum, an institution of scholars, mathematicians, and philosophers, served as the library's beating heart. Scholars lived, studied, wrote, and debated under the patronage of the Ptolemaic kings. Young students walked its halls in awe, their sandals clicking on polished stone floors as they passed rooms filled with scrolls, instruments, and astronomers mapping the heavens from rooftop observatories. The custodians of the library were not mere librarians. They were sages, men and women whose queries stretched from the anatomy of the human body to the geometry of the stars. Among them were luminaries like Eratosthenes, who calculated the circumference of the earth with astonishing precision, and Herophilus, who performed early anatomical studies. But the library's vastness was both blessing and curse. Knowledge in such concentration attracted admiration and fear. In 48 BCE, Alexandria became a battlefield. Julius Caesar, trapped in the city during the Alexandrian War, ordered the burning of enemy ships docked in the harbor. The flames spread, carried by wooden docks and fierce sea winds, toward the city itself. Many historians believe this fire consumed part of the library or its warehouses. Scrolls stored near the port were said to have gone up in a storm of sparks and ash, swirling into the night sky. Whether the main library burned or only auxiliary collections, the first blow had been struck. The loss was devastating. Hundreds of thousands of scrolls, works of science, philosophy, drama, and poetry, may have been lost overnight. Witnesses wrote that the smoke that rose from Alexandria carried not just the scent of burning papyrus, but the extinguishing of human memory. But the library survived, in some form. Scholars rebuilt, restocked, and kept teaching. After Caesar's campaign, Alexandria changed. The stability of the Ptolemaic era faded. Wars, political upheaval, and shifting ideologies weakened the library's position. Scholars continued their work, but the institution no longer enjoyed absolute protection. What had once been untouchable now stood vulnerable. Rome absorbed Egypt, and with it Alexandria. Though some emperors supported scholarship, others viewed the library with suspicion. Knowledge could inspire revolution, after all. Intellectual freedom narrowed. The building aged. Scrolls decayed. And ideological conflicts grew. By the 4th century CE, the Roman Empire was undergoing immense religious transformation. Christianity had risen from persecuted faith to imperial power. Pagan institutions, including temples, academies, and centers of learning, were increasingly scrutinized. The library, filled with pagan texts, scientific theories contradicting literal scripture, and works by philosophers long dead, became a symbolic battleground. One of the last great scholars was Hypatia, a mathematician, philosopher, and astronomer. She lectured on geometry, the works of Plato, and the motions of the heavens. Her brilliance drew students from across the empire. But her influence also drew enemies. She became a target amid rising tensions between civil authorities and religious factions. When the original library could no longer function as it once had, many of its surviving scrolls were believed to have been moved to the Serapeum, a grand temple dedicated to Serapis. The Serapeum served as a sanctuary of scholarship. Yet it too would soon face destruction. In 391 CE, Emperor Theodosius I issued edicts banning pagan practices. Temples across the empire were ordered closed or destroyed. Radical sects used the decree as permission to attack the Serapeum. The temple and its scrolls, perhaps the last physical remnants of the Great Library, were destroyed in riots. Another piece of humanity's memory disappeared into dust. In 415 CE, Hypatia was murdered by a mob who saw her as a symbol of old knowledge. Her death is often seen as the final blow to Alexandria's academic world. With her gone, no great scholars remained to defend what little was left. After centuries of decline and intermittent destruction, the Library of Alexandria was no more. Its ruins were absorbed into the growing city. New generations walked streets paved over lost worlds. But its spirit lingered. Historians estimate that over *** 700,000 scrolls ** may have once been stored in the library at its height. Among the losses, treatises by renowned mathematicians, Early theories of heliocentrism, complete works of ancient playwrights, medical studies centuries ahead of their time, histories of civilizations now forgotten. The library's destruction wasn't just the loss of books, it was the disappearance of possibilities. Not all was erased. Some works referenced by library scholars made their way into later manuscripts. Echoes of their brilliance survived through quotations, translations, and scattered copies. But much of the ancient world became fragmented, like shards of pottery. Over time, the story of the library's burning grew mythic. Some blamed Caesar. Others blamed Christian zealots. Others accused later Muslim conquerors. The truth is that the library did not die in a single night. It faded through 4 centuries of neglect, violence, shifting powers, and ideological conflicts. Its death was slow, a long extinction. Though the library fell, Alexandria remained a cultural giant. New centers of learning rose, though none matched the ambition of the original. Scholars whispered about lost knowledge with awe, sorrow, and fascination. The library became legend. For centuries, rulers, scholars, and philosophers imagined resurrecting the library. Its destruction symbolized the fragility of knowledge, how easily wisdom can be erased by fear, war, or ideology. The story sparked dreams of a new institution where all people could study freely. In 2002, the Bibliotheca Alexandrina opened near the site of the ancient library. Its architecture resembles a rising sun, a symbol of rebirth. Inside are millions of books, digital archives, museums, and research institutions. The fall of the library teaches humanity vital lessons. Knowledge must be protected, ****. Ideas should be free from political or religious suppression, ****. Preservation requires constant effort, ****. Curiosity is a flame that must be guarded, ****. Historians often imagine what might have happened if the library had survived. Earlier scientific revolutions better preserved history's lost technologies rediscovered centuries sooner. Perhaps humanity would have reached the stars long before the modern age. Today, the Library of Alexandria stands as the greatest symbol of knowledge destroyed. Artists, writers, filmmakers, and thinkers invoke it as a reminder of how fragile human progress truly is. Its memory inspires digital preservation, global archives, and scientific collaboration. Every time a book is saved, a discovery recorded, or a researcher defended from censorship, the Great Library rises again. Its spirit lives in every school, university, and archive dedicated to the pursuit of truth. Though centuries have passed, the dangers remain: war, intolerance, ignorance, and neglect still threaten knowledge today. The library's fate warns every generation: wisdom must be protected, not assumed. The Great Library of Alexandria may have burned, but its light endures. Not in scrolls or rooms of marble, but in human curiosity. As long as people seek to understand the universe, the library lives. Its flames were never fully extinguished, they were carried forward in the minds of all who dare to know.